Hello and welcome to another World of Warplanes video with me, Sir 10 Death. A couple of weeks ago I reviewed the Tier 3 British Type 133 fighter, and I said I would follow it up with its successor, this one, the Tier 4 Bristol Type 146. So that's what we're looking at today. Those of you who've watched a few of my videos will know that I really quite like turn and burn style aircraft, and on paper this is going to be one of those. As ever, I'm going to jump into some footage and be talking about the plane, what it does well, what it doesn't do so well, its strengths, its weaknesses, etc. as the gameplay plays. I should tell you this is a nice matchup for this plane, very nice, but I should tell you right now, this is being played as a stock plane. I've only just got this, and therefore it's in its very basic form. So we'll see how it performs at this level, and I suppose if anything it's going to only get better as we upgrade it. So you can see then that this plane we've got a nice match here. I do like this this map, by the way. This plane has got 160 hit points, which is fairly average, fairly standard for a Tier 4 fighter. That's not too bad at all. And on paper it's got a manoeuvrability rating of 80, which is okay. That's not bad. There are some that are a bit more manoeuvrable, and some that aren't so as manoeuvrable. That's alright, I can live with that. Its official turn is 8.6 seconds, which is really nice. That's pretty effective at getting it round on targets. Here's an example of just flipping over and getting in behind somebody else. That doesn't take too long to get back on the tail of somebody. And yeah, we're going to work here and just chipping away at this guy. Now I am just chipping away at him. That's because in this stock configuration that I'm playing right now, the plane comes out of the box, so to speak, with 4.303 Vickers guns on the wings. Now, 0.303 is the same as 7.7mm. It's just back in the time of World War II, Britain used the imperial system, so that's referring to 0.303 of an inch, which is 7.7mm. And it's got 4 of them. They're wing-mounted. Wing-mounted guns tend to be a bit more challenging to get them on target because they disperse a bit more, but we can work with that. Also, it doesn't cost a huge amount of XP to start to upgrade those weapons. There are 2 weapon upgrades available for this plane. The first one basically doubles the damage completely because it goes from having 4 of those 0.303s to having 8 of them. So that's a nice upgrade that I'll be looking forward to having on here. And then there's an additional one where you can swap out the 8.303 Vickers for 8.303 Browning guns, which are the exact same effective gunnery range, exact same RPM, rounds per minute. They just do a little bit more damage, tiny bit more. It works out as 25 per second instead of 23 per second, which is it's okay. So I've just got the plane flying around, done bits of damage, done a little bit here and there, not having a stunning start of the game, just testing it out, trying it out to see what it does well, what it doesn't do so well. And that's me popped out of the air there. That's the end of my first sortie, so I'm just going to yeah, I'm not doing bad. I'm actually doing best person on our team so far, which is a little bit worrying because this doesn't feel like a great game. But when you're testing and trying things out, these things do happen. Okay, so we've talked about the manoeuvrability and turn and hit points and the guns a bit. Let's talk about the altitude. It suggests that it fights at around where it's respawning now, around the 1,000 meters mark, and it does work quite effectively from what I've found playing it around that area. You will see a little bit later in this footage me trying to climb quite high with it and struggling a little bit because of stall speeds, but I am still managing to rise up and to go a bit higher, up to the 1,300 meter mark, to try and chase down this plane up here. It's not the fastest plane in the world. Its standard speeds when it's just kind of going along, you know, around 300 kilometers per hour, which is it's okay. When boosting, can push up to near a 400. It has a 6-second boost, which again is fairly standard for low tier fighters to have that sort of amount of boost. And there's an example where I was really pushing on to try to finish off this heavy fighter and hit my stall speed and had to just sort of drop out the sky almost a little bit to gain some momentum again and to get on his tail and behind him again. We're past almost the 2,500 combat points mark, so it's not a terrible game. We're doing alright, and I'm just really swapping from target to target. Now I happen to have found myself a nice juicy target up here in the form of a bomber. Now, bombers, of course, have got big hit points, but they're big, slow-moving targets. And if you can get on the tail of one like this, particularly something like this Bristol Blenheim one, because you can knock them out of the sky quite easily. And that's because the Bristol Blenheim has got a rear gunner, but its rear gunner is pretty awful, to be honest. In a higher tier, I wouldn't recommend necessarily trying to tail some bombers. I wouldn't recommend, for example, if you were playing a tier 6, trying to get on the tail of a Douglas Invader, because it's got very effective rear gun weapons and it's not a good plan to sit behind it in a light fighter. Here's the other Bristol Blenheim bomber, and I may as well go to work on him as well. So I am flying a good nearly double the altitude that's recommended, but since I find myself up here and the bombers are where I am, it would be silly not to try and get rid of them, because bombers of course are extremely effective at flipping over those ground zones, turning them from blue into red if they manage to put enough damage down. So knocking the bombers out of the sky, great idea. And now looking at this this guy down here, there's an attack aircraft coming in. Another big slow moving thing, which is food and drink. The problem is I've actually pushed a bit too fast, so I've managed to do a strafing run as I've gone past him. It's going to flip around, take a bit of a gamble flying in front of him because he could put shots on me now, and then try and drop in behind him. This is where manoeuvrability of aircraft really pays off. If you can just literally circle around somebody, drop in behind him, and then his game's out of there. That's the grade 4 fighter award, just under 5,000 combat points. So things are going okay. It's not a stunningly great game. If you get somebody like that flying awards, he's trying to ram me there basically. A heavy fighter's going to try and knock me out of the sky by just ramming straight into me. Do what I did there. Just if you see him coming, it seems to be not veering off. Just get out of his way. I still took some damage. I think he clipped me, but it's better than just being knocked out of the sky. So I'm doing all right here. It's certainly not an amazing game, but it is managing to show what this Bristol 146 can do under the right circumstances. They've got another heavy fighter up here. We've got an FW57 up here. Let's go and see if we can catch him, but we are struggling to get to his sort of altitude, although he is coming down now. This could work out pretty well. Let's go to work on him with the guns then. So I'll just remind you again, I am using the stock guns on this, so if you're thinking to yourself, oh, these guns are pretty terrible, just do remember that you only need a small amount of hit points, sorry, a small amount of XP to be able to upgrade them and do essentially double the damage that I'm doing right now. I was taking a bit more damage there, and I can't quite catch up with this guy, unfortunately. Haven't got the pace to do it. Let's go back over here and see who we can go to work on now, because as a team we're well ahead, about 75% capped, and we've got my alter ego here. We've got a Bristol 146, so it's 146 against a 146. This is where you've got two planes with equal movability attempting to outturn each other. Now, this guy's actually already was working on another member of our team, and now he's very much focusing on me, I think, and I'm managing to put a few shots on him as he goes past, but look what's happening here. This is real true dogfighting. Two planes with the same loadout, so to speak. He could well have the upgraded guns, I don't know this. He could well be a maximum pain, and he's going to get the better of me here. Yes, he does. But it just goes to show that if you are using two planes at the same type, you can have a good bit of fun trying to chase each other round and round and round. So the game's very much nearly petered out now, and I'm just seeing if I can do any last little bits of damage before I get before the game ends. So head up here towards this heavy fighter again. Can we do any damage to him because the game's almost done? And yeah, I like the 146. I enjoyed very much the 133, and the 146 is just an extension of that line, and it's kind of training you into the Spitfire style of play. Because if you like this idea of getting on the tail of planes, putting damage down, swapping from target to target, swooping in and out of combat, this could be the plane for you. So I did just over 7,000 combat points, not great. Flying starts fairly standard, class 4 fighters normal. Finished first on my team, got the Dillies medal class 3, which is just one of those progressive ones you get. I just swapped to the end plates to see how we did on the whole, and so yeah, we did okay. It was not a stunning game. Credits wise, tier 4 non-premium plane, yeah, 52,000 credits on a non-premium tier 4, I can live with that, that's okay. And on the team, yeah, I finished first overall. On our team anyway, there was a good, their 146 finished top of the other team, which shows off what an effective plane it is. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed this footage and this gameplay, and it's helping you decide whether you want to go down that Spitfire line or not. Please do share and subscribe. Thanks very much. Goodbye.